Five Nights at Boys, which I'll be calling FNAF Boys because swearing is bad, is an RPG based on the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise created by Sable, Lynn and Joshua Shaw. The idea for the game was based on a concept by Sable Lynn, how much could I f up Five Nights at Freddy's, posted on her Tumblr in November 2014. The game was released on December 2nd, 2014 from a post on Sable's Tumblr which reads, Five Nights at Boys is a FNAF fan game created by Sable KH and Joshua Shaw in RPG Maker VX Ace, featuring unfair difficulty, text-to-speech voice acting, and beautiful animatronic. You control Freddy, who decides he wants to have a radical night of hardcore debauchery, and the surveillance cameras of the pizzeria are the only thing standing in his way. With the help of Bonnie, Chica and Foxy, Freddy must destroy the cameras so he can have the time of his life. Features over 50 lines of voice-acted dialogue
by text-to-speech programs,
infuriatingly powerful and frustrating main bosses, even more infuriatingly powerful and frustrating bonus bosses. Seriously, even the regular encounters will f***ing destroy you. Free money, Balloon Boy, Foxy masturbating, dragon dildos, homicidal party hats, Tupac. Extensively tested for bugs, but if you find anything that managed to squeak by, let me know through my ask box. FNAF Boys was uploaded to GameJolt on March 10th, 2015, which to this day has 1.8 million views and 5.6 thousand likes. For this video, I'll be splitting the game into two categories, the main game and the extra stuff. The main game is the basic game from start to end, and the extra stuff is the secrets you can find if you look hard enough. So anyway, let's get into it. As soon as you select Night X, because the other nights are locked behind a passcode, you get shown an image of a newspaper that says, Help wanted, Freddy Boys Pizza. Freddy wants to have a hardcore night of debauchery, but to do so, he must shit on all of the cameras to prevent his detection. Good God and join today. Please. Then after that, you gain control as Freddy. Now, we'll first start by getting the party members. You go into the back room where you can find Bonnie, where he says that his head is gone, so we need to find it. But we'll worry about that later. We need to obtain Chica, who's in the kitchen. We need to punch this door a lot, and when Freddy realizes that it's not working, he goes into the woman's restroom to get a voucher for Bonnie's head. After obtaining Bonnie's head voucher, we head into Pirate's Cove to recruit Foxy, but he's too busy pleasing himself. So the only rational thing to do is grab a lighter and the key to the kitchen, and then proceed to try and burn Pirate's Cove. But somehow Balloon Boy stole my lighter, so we need to go and get it back for 15 tokens? Well, anyway, now we can burn Pirate's Cove to the ground, for real. And after that, Foxy joins us. Now we'll just go and get Chica from the kitchen, who's in the oven like the filthy degenerate that she is. Now time to get Bonnie's head by defeating these party hats in the restroom to get the Balloon Boy shop. And thankfully the head only costs 10 tokens. I buy the head and go back to the back room, and now we got Bonnie. There are 10 cameras in the pizzeria you need to defeat in order to unlock the office where you can fight the final boss. After defeating 2 cameras, the puppet, which is an optional boss, shows up in the restroom with a 5-minute timer, so you have to go to where he is and wind him up, which resets the timer to 5 minutes. And when the timer runs out, the puppet comes to fight you. You better be well prepared for him, because he will kick your ass, because the puppet has 80,000 HP, 600 attack, and 200 defense. And when you defeat him, you get 2020 XP in tokens. The rewards used to be 202,020 XP in tokens, but when the creator found out that the puppet was beatable, she reduced the rewards to what we have today. When the party members reach level 20, the toy versions of the animatronics start showing up. When Freddy reaches level 20, Toy Freddy shows up on the show stage. When Bonnie reaches level 20, Toy Bonnie shows up in the back room. When Chica reaches level 20, Toy Chica shows up in the restrooms. And when Foxy reaches level 20, Balloon Boy shows up on the show stage. Wait, what? Where's Mangle? Talking to Balloon Boy gets his head decapitated by Mangle. And now Mangle shows up in Pirate's Cove. Defeating these toys unlocks a special combo for each party member. These toys are optional, by the way. After defeating all of the cameras, you hear the sound when you run out of power in the original Five Nights at Freddy's. And that's when you know you can enter the office. And there you can encounter none other than Golden Freddy, who is pissed off that you didn't invite him to your night of debauchery. Now you have to fight him in 4 Omega party hats. He has 50,000 HP, 530 attack and 200 defense. The office lights turn on when he reaches half of his HP. When defeated, Golden Freddy proceeds to scream for 5 nights. And that's the end of the game, or is it? If you have defeated all of the toy animatronics and the puppet, then you get the real ending with Balloon Boy. You will not believe this, but Balloon Boy has 150,000 HP and 999 attack. So basically, he will can destroy you if you are not prepared. Once defeated, if you are really lucky with Backup Bash, because his luck makes him basically immune to paralysis, you are rewarded with the true ending. And the ending is basically the same whether or not you fight Balloon Boy. The only difference is that you get to listen to Tupac as you watch the credits scroll. And that's the main game. There is Night 2 and 3, but there's very little difference except in Night 2, the animatronics are capped at level 10, and Night 3 they're capped at level 1. I won't be doing those because they're extremely hard, and as I said, there's very little difference. Now, time to talk about the extra stuff. We'll start off with the small secrets. The box with the kitchen key has a 1 in 30 chance to not have a key, which Freddy will proceed to shit himself to death. You can also force it to happen by holding Q when you go and open the box. If you keep punching the kitchen door after Freddy says that it's not working, a dragon dildo tumbles onto the ground and you collect it. The dragon dildo used to be overpowered, but since the 1.6 update, the dragon dildo got nerfed to where equipping it reduces your HP and defense to 1, but you still get over 500 attack, which is alright, I guess. When you spam the get crunk bottle 100 times, a vending machine appears out of nowhere, where you can get pizzas, sodas, birthday presents, cakes, donuts, and most importantly, stat boosts, which is good for getting max stats if you have the will to grind for hours. And finally, there's the debug room secret. To unlock the debug room, you have to force Freddy into the woman's restroom, and as the screen goes white, you hold Q until a menu pops up telling you to put in a passcode, which is UUDDLRLRBAS, which if you couldn't tell is the Konami code. After putting in the passcode, you go back into the dining area to find a crack on the edge of the show stage. After punching the crack 2,500 times, you unlock the debug room where you can add party members, get the best equipment and items for free, and lastly, you can change your name. And that's all of the secrets. Now it's off to the bigger secrets. For the first big secret, we'll start off with the Q scenario. If you hold Q while starting a new game, you start the game as Balloon Boy. The Q scenario loosely follows the same plot as the normal game, just with swapped characters. Balloon Boy and Freddy's roles are swapped, Chica is swapped with the puppet, and Golden Freddy is swapped with Mangle. You can get the puppet as soon as you start by forcing Balloon Boy into the kitchen. The toy animatronics show up after defeating 2 cameras each, starting with Toy Freddy, Toy Bunny, and Toy Chica. Crystals spawn around the pizzeria, which provides Balloon Boy and the toy animatronic skills. After defeating all of the cameras, the office unlocks where you have to fight Mangle, who has 65,000 HP, 500 attack, and 300 defense. After defeating her, Balloon Boy celebrates forever, I guess. Next. For this scenario, you hold W while starting a new game, and this time, you start as a character named Vile, who is Freddy's son apparently. Vile came to find his father, which is some plot in one of the later games. Unlike the other modes, Vile is the only playable character, and instead of the usual ambient noise, the Almighty from Persona 4 plays instead, unless you enter Pirate's Cove and then the ambience goes back to normal. The goal is pretty much the same as the other modes. You beat all of the cameras and then you go into the office to face the final boss, which this time, instead of Golden Freddy or Mangle, it's Memory Phantoms. The first one is Ben from the creepypasta Ben Drowned, and he's also part of another game by Sable and Joshua called Ben's Fisting Derby. The second one is Launch Octopus from the Mega Man X series, and the third one is Joshi from the hit game Super Mario Kart. Once you defeat the Memory Phantoms, Vile realizes that Freddy isn't here, and that To Be Continued appears on the screen teasing FNAFBoy 3 Act 3. After defeating all of the cameras, instead of going into the office, you go back to the main area where you can find a crack in the top right corner of the room. After punching the crack a bunch of times, it opens up a hidden room with a hole in the middle. Going into the hole takes you to what's called the Interior Walls. The Interior Walls is a huge dungeon with really trippy visuals, roulette wheels that send you back to the beginning of the dungeon if you touch them, ace cards that you randomly encounter that very rarely drops godly weapons for your party, and toxic fumes where you slowly lose HP, and the only way to regenerate your HP is to use the oxygen machines that are around the place, or you can just use your pizzas. There are chests around the place that have pizzas, sodas, a key, or nothing at all. Keys are also dropped by enemies, and are used to open barriers to make your way to a big door. On the other side of the door is a time machine where you go to some point in FNAFBoy 3 Act 3 where you fight a familiar person called With 130,000 HP and 999 attack, he will destroy you if you don't have the godly weapons. If you do have them, then the boss is a bit easier. After beating you get 2025 XP in tokens, and then you exit the Interior Walls, where you are told that all of that was non-canon. After exiting the Interior Walls, if you have the godly weapons for all of the characters, if you go into Pirate's Cove, you'll find a crack in the crates where if you punch it enough, it opens up a room called the Super Room. What's super about this room? Nothing. There's nothing in this room, that's all. Now on to the last secret. In the 1.6 update, a new area was created that from what I know is inaccessible called the Pizzatorium. So I added a way to access it by adding a ladder in the Pirate's Cove Super Room that can take me there using the RPG maker that is used to create this game. Now we'll see what this is. Shortly after you enter the place, Bonnie, Chica and Foxy vanishes. This sign on the wall welcomes you to the Pizzatorium, where Freddy says,
I remember now. My magnum opus. Robbed, burgled from me in cold blood.
Interacting with the water here refills your HP. If you want to go through this door, the game will remove all of your equipment. Walking down a little bit will change the ground into some trippy effect. Walking to the right, you will encounter railroad tracks, which forces you to spin around in circles until you press one of the arrow keys. Whatever you do, don't press the up or right arrows, because pressing those takes you nowhere and softlocks the game. Pressing the down arrow takes you to some desert area where you make your way to some stairs that does nothing. This place is clearly unfinished, and I doubt it'll ever get finished since it's been 2 years since the last update. And we'll probably won't get another update from what this post on the Game Jolt is saying. And that's all the extra stuff from what I know.
Wait, why am I still here?
Do the outro, Freddy.
Is this guy really making me do an outro?
Yes.
Fine. Engage the like and subscribe buttons, motherfucker. There. Happy now. Are you ready for Freddy?